Hello everyone, this is NeonFoxLetsPlays, and I'm going to be doing a little bit of a special video here. I thought this up since Sly 3 Honor Among Thieves, my 10th Let's Play just ended, and we're currently waiting for Let's Plays number 11 and 12. Yes, I'm doing a double Let's Play, surprise, surprise. But anyways, in the meantime, I thought I'd upload this video just to kind of make the break not so long in between, because I always hate that gap in between my Let's Plays. It's always such a tough part of a Let's Playing career, of my Let's Playing career, is just being in between games. I don't like that gap of nothingness. It's just odd to me. Although it's nice to have a new Let's Play. Okay, but anyways, this video is going to be part of just a series that's not really going to be updated, at certain times. It's going to be done pretty sporadically, but these are just some Sly 4 Thieves in Time discussions that I thought I'd do because I've seen a lot of people talk about like their opinions on the game. I know a lot of people comment in these videos, but I thought it'd be cool to have a little safe haven where you can discuss. Now, I'm also going to give my feed on it too, and I just want you guys to know too that this is my opinion, and whatever people put in the comments, that's their opinion too. So you can debate with it, but please try to respect it. So, saying fuck you or something, that's not a debate. That's just being vulgar. So I plan to do at least 4 of these before Sly 4 is released. 4, lol. So the first one that I have is one that I've come across a lot. And it mainly has to deal with the fact that Sly 4 Thieves in Times, or Sly Thieves in Times, I get shit for calling it Sly 4, why it's the 4th game in the series. But the fact that it's going to be released for and only the PS3. And now I understand why, because we're in the 7th generation of video game consoles in terms of PlayStation games. But a lot of people have a problem with this, and I can understand why. I guess I'm going to say the pros and cons about this, and because people want a PlayStation 2 release. Now, first off, in having it only for the PS3 it's kind of an okay marketing strategy. Is that, well, people who don't have a PS3 now that are Sly fans, they're going to be prompted to buy a PS3 now because Sly 4 is going to come out, and because if you don't have a PS3, you're not going to be able to play it. Now, and another thing, too, is the fact that people are shocked. It's like, why is it being released with a PS3? It's so new. And the thing is, guys, the PlayStation 3 was released in 2005. You've had about 6 years to buy the console, so you should have by now. The PS3 isn't new. Saying the PS3 is new is like saying the Wii is new, and the Wii is not new. It's been around for a long time. It's the reason why people still think it's new is because the PlayStation 2, it's still living past its generation. In fact, when it comes to 6th generation consoles, the PlayStation 2 and the Nintendo GameCube, they're still living beyond their successors because they're so brilliant. And even Nintendo 64 and PlayStation 1, they're still kind of hanging on there. Nintendo 64 more so. But yes, the PlayStation 3 isn't new. It's fairly old. It's getting around there. I believe it's actually at the end of its lifespan. But now, and another thing about the pro of it being just for the PS3, and because a lot of people want it to be for the PS2, is that I call those downgraded games. It's where in my opinion, a downgraded game means it's a game that's made for a console, and then they make it for the console generation that was before it. Now, with the exception, the only exception I can think of is Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, where that was fine. Because that game was originally made to be for the GameCube, but then they made it for the Wii, and then the GameCube version was released a month later. So I think Twilight Princess handled it pretty well. That's the only game I can think of, but normally these are horrible games to play on the version before. Great example is Tony Hawk Project 8. Because I have that game for the Xbox, and the game's also available for the PS3. And when I say Xbox, by the way, guys, I'm talking about the Xbox 360. So just to keep that in mind. But I have the game for the Xbox 360, and I also had the PS2 version. and I got the PS2 version first because I didn't have an Xbox 360 or a PS3. And oh my god, it was horrible because the way they advertise the game is that there's no loading screens, and the whole levels move fluidly. PS2 version is horrible. There are so many freaking loading screens. The game just plays bad. So I'm kind of afraid that if they do a downgraded game on the PS2, it's not going to be as good because the PS3 it plays really well. They have great graphics and everything. The PS2 has good graphics too, but it's like, why would you make a game for the bottom version? I don't think it's honestly a good idea because I feel like that if they do it, it's not going to turn out as good as the PS3 version, the original. Now, said that, there are a lot of cons when it comes to the PS3. And now, this is my opinion, but when it comes to the Wii, the Xbox 360, and the PS3 is my least favorite. It just is. Wii is my favorite. Because there's a lot of things I just don't like about the PS3, and it's very evident, including in sales. Because as of the summer of 2011, there have been over 87 million Wii consoles that have been sold. 87 million. PS3 and Xbox just make it a little bit over half of that. The Xbox 360 selling 55 million, PS3 selling 51 million. So it has sold the least. And one of the reasons why is, even though it's been around for 5 years, is that a used PS3 is super expensive. Oh, for this data, I went to a few GameStops, and when it came to pricings of used 7th generation main consoles, the Wii was around $100, which is, I consider that to be pretty good. Xbox 360 being around 180, 170. I saw one at 150, so that's kind of okay. It's a little bit too pricey. The PS3 was selling at around $250 for a used. A used PS3 was $250. That's not including the Move. That is a normal PS3 with the controller, just everything. $250. That is insane. That is, I forgot how much the Nintendo DS was, but that's around the price of when the Nintendo 3DS just came out. So it makes sense why the PS3 has sold less copies, is because that's really expensive. For a used console, that is super expensive. And let's compare it to a used PS2, which is around $50. $50 is not expensive in terms of the console. That is cheap. That's almost dangerously cheap. But then again, a GameCube is like $20, $25, and GameCubes are rock. They're like the Jesus of game consoles, or more like zombies. You cannot kill them. My God. And that also brings me to the fact of fail rates. And I remember reading this up, and it discussed about, it's a percentage of fail rating when you have a malfunction with the system, and it's based on how much service complaints they have had on the systems. And according to a poll on it, the fail rate of the PS3 is 1 out of 10, which is pretty bad. The Wii is only 1 out of 100, which I understand too, because consoles sometimes they don't work. In fact, Blue Turtle Club, her first Wii, she got a fail one, went to a coma, said Pengus and died. But then again, the PS3 doesn't do as bad as the Xbox, which is 1 out of every 4, which is really bad. And I had a fail one. And what I mean by that is that's the fail rate is, it shows, so that means in terms of PS3, that means if you had 10 PS3s, you sold them to different people, that means you get back a service complaint from one of those guys out of those 10. And Wii, you sold 100 Wiis, you only get one back. Xbox, if you sold like 100 of them, 25 would come back, which is pretty substantial. Also, the fact that PS3, I know it markets a lot on Blu-ray, which I think is really pointless. I don't own any Blu-ray discs. I don't think it's really necessary. I'll stick with DVD, please. I mean, really, I don't find Blu-ray to be all that really worthwhile. The fact that it's also sold with a DVD. I mean, really, why do you care so much to have that? I'd honestly just rather have the DVD version because I was buying. I don't even remember what movie I bought. It came with the DVD and the Blu-ray disc. I still have it. You know, I gave the Blu-ray disc away. I didn't really even want it. It was pointless for me to have. I have a PS3, but it's just like I don't know. Blu-ray, it just seems really stupid. Another thing that really, really bothers me about the PS3, and I'm going to leave Xbox 360 out of this argument because it doesn't really apply to it, but definitely applies to the Wii, is the fact of backwards compatibility. And you guys should know what that is. It's basically you have a game system and allows you to play previous games from previous game systems on it. Great example of this is the PS2. That was backwards compatible with a PS1. And as long as you had a PlayStation 1 memory card, you could play and save PlayStation 1 games on your PS2. The Wii is also a good example. Same with GameCube games. In fact, the Wii is super backwards compatible because you can play NES games, SNES games on it, Nintendo 64 games through the Virtual Console, which is really awesome. But the PlayStation 3, the original versions, I believe, you did have backwards compatibility with the PS1 and PS2. But now the new versions, guess what they're only backwards compatible with? The PlayStation 1 versions. What the fuck? So you're telling me that you can't play PlayStation 2 games on a PS3, but you can play PlayStation 1 games. Sony, I don't get what you were trying to do there. I guess maybe they were just thinking, well, you know, everyone probably still has a PS2, so why make it backwards compatible with the PS2? We'll just make it backwards compatible with the PS1. Because most likely people have gotten rid of the consoles, but they sell have the games. But I think that was just a really dumb move on their part. Why would you do that? It just seems really stupid that you could play PlayStation 1 games and not play PlayStation 2 games on it. And you know, that was a problem with the Sly Cooper fans, although we got the Sly collection, but you know, in this which is made by Sanzaru, who's going to be making Sly 4. And I don't hold anything against, you know, the Sly collection. I think it was a great job. In fact, I understand why they did it. Is mainly because I'm pretty sure they were pissed the fact that you couldn't play Sly 2 games on the PS3, or maybe it was just to, you know, commemorate the fact that, you know, the series has been around for quite a while. It's been around for 2012 is going to be 10 years. So wow, it's like wow, I just realized the Sly collection is coming up on its 10th anniversary. Damn guys, we got to celebrate that. So there's a lot of pros and cons about this being only on the PS3, and a lot of people are also asking if this would be available for the Wii and the Xbox 360, which I think is a dumb thing to ask, considering the fact that Sly Cooper has always been for the PS systems. It's never been, well, it's only been for the PlayStation 2, but they've never done any Wii or Xbox 360 games, so that's kind of a dumb question to ask. If they were to do it, I think it would be cool, although I feel kind of upset because the whole reason I bought a PS3 was for the Mega Collection, Heroes on the Move, which was a bit of a disappointment for me, and I knew that they were going to make a Sly 4. I knew that there's no way that they could finish on Sly 3, because I knew from like 2008 that there was going to be a Sly 4. I think a lot of people knew it too, it's just we didn't know when or how, really. That was kind of the whole reason I bought one. And I feel a little bit disappointed that they're like, Sly Thieves in Time, now available on the Wii. You know, it would be mad. And plus, you know, I figure it would probably be better to stay to the PS3 anyways, because you know that's a lot of people are, you know, complaining with Sanzaru on the fact that, you know, it's not going to stay original to the first three, and they're really trying hard to make it stay as close as they can to the first three. And they're doing a pretty good job on it. I've seen the gameplay, I've seen the art, and I just want to say if anyone from Sanzaru is watching, I want to tell you guys that you are doing a really good job on this game, especially during a time where I've been really disappointed with a lot of games. Like really, the only games I'm really excited about are Star Fox 64 for the 3DS. I still need a 3DS though. Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword and Sly 4. That's really it. I was excited for the Spyro series, but I mean, oh my god, fucking Skylanders. That shit is horrible. I've never been like more disappointed about a game ever in my life. Like I thought that like it was gonna be cool to have a new Spyro game, but oh my god, they just ruined it. They royally ruined it. I would have rather had another Spyro Game Boy game. I really would have. Although no one makes Game Boy games anymore, but still, I would have rather had them do a rehashing of Uncharted Dragonfly or Hero's Tale or even the Legends series. Anything but what they did. They overcomplicated things and they just made it to crap. That's what they did. Okay, but that's off topic. Sorry, I know. So basically, this discussion is just about the obstacles of the PS3. And in my opinion, at the end, I think, it makes sense just to have it only for the PS3. I think it's just kind of a way to move on from the PS2. Because I'm pretty sure, I know that they're kind of still making games for it. Or I think they stopped recently. I think they stopped in like 2010. So it's just kind of a way of moving on. And if you don't have a PS3, then tough titties. You're not going to be able to play Sly 3. If you don't want to get one, you're not going to be able to play Sly 3. And as sucky as that is, it's just kind of like, well, sorry, man. It's like you don't really have many other options. You could probably buy the game and play it at a friend's house, but I'm pretty sure I speak for everyone when it's better to have your own console. So it's pretty much, if you don't have the system, you're not going to get the game. So is it worth to get the PS3? Yeah, I guess it is. So if you don't have a PS3, I really start getting the money for Sly 4. Because if you want to play it when it comes out, you better have the money for it. Maybe a lot of you could probably wait until Christmas, or if you're Jewish, Hanukkah, and try to see if you can get it then. Or if you have a birthday coming up, trust me, birthdays are how I've gotten like almost every single console. Birthdays and Christmas. Because I've gotten every single console so far from birthday or Christmas. I think the only one I didn't was I think every single one. No. The Nintendo 64, when I used to have it, that I bought with my own money. Yeah, that was the only one, really. Games I usually buy with my own money. So I told my parents, I said, you just have to buy me the console, I'll get the games. And I'm a little bit upset that I paid so much for that move, because, oh my god, that was so fucking stupid of me. Hardly even use the move. So, yeah, I think I'm going to end off this video because it's probably really long. So don't expect a discussion number 2 to be up very soon. I just kind of wanted to make this and kind of start this. But be sure to look out for whenever my next Let's Play start, which should hopefully be very, very, very soon. And I guess I'm still kind of running off that Sly 3 kick. So I'm going to end the video here, guys. Write what you think about, what I've talked about in the video in the comments. And if you want also, maybe for, you can also probably give me ideas for what you want me to discuss in the next videos. I'm only going to do 4 subjects, so maybe in one video I'll do like 2 subjects. It all depends really, but this one I really just want to hark on this because it was probably the most debated one I've seen. So yeah, I'm going to have the video here, guys. So I'll see you guys in whatever video you watch from me next. Yeah, whatever. I'm just going to have the video here. Type up your comments now and whatever. Just remember to be respectful, and these are all opinion, okay? This is all of our opinions are, they're not facts, so don't get mad. I don't want to see any inappropriate comments, guys. I really don't. Be respectful, okay? So if you want to be respected, you got to give respect. Just remember that, and I'll see you guys in one of my other videos.